What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another video. This one is my 100 subscriber special. 100 doesn't seem like a lot, but it is a bit of a milestone for me. Every YouTuber who is famous, who has 5, 10, 20, whatever million subscribers or however many hundreds of thousands, everybody started with 100 at some point in time. So if I'm going to build a career on YouTube, I have to start somewhere. And 100 is a great place to start. It's a great milestone, and I want to honor that in the 105 of you at this point who are subscribed and hopefully who watched this. So I announced this a couple of weeks ago and asked for some questions. I have, I think, 9 questions here. 9 comments that ended up being 14 or so questions. So I'm gonna jump right into those so I don't take up too much time. Comment number 1, the first one, from Emma B., who happens to be my girlfriend because she's ridiculous. Her question is, what is your favorite pun? And to that I say, I don't like puns. So my favorite one is whatever pun is not said. But if I had to pick one, I like double entendres, where words simultaneously mean 2 different things, either by definition or just by what they're said. And so my favorite pun / double entendre in that regard would be updog. Number 2, from Holly Chilson. What's your favorite movie? Jurassic Park, hands down. I've seen it probably a couple hundred times, especially the first one. I've seen all the sequels dozens, hundreds of times. Not so much the last 2, the Jurassic Worlds. I'm working on those. Number 3, also from Holly Chilson, Holly being Emma's best friend. So she commented 5 times for 5 different questions. From Holly, if you could have any superpower, what would it be and why? I would choose teleportation. I think that would be the most useful, assuming either way, assuming normal world or super world, everybody has superpowers. Teleportation would just be so handy for day-to-day living. If I needed to go to the store, I could just teleport there. If I was late for work, I could just teleport there. I wouldn't need a car. I wouldn't have to use gas. My expenses would be way cheaper. If I wanted to go visit family up in the Midwest, if I wanted to visit friends up in the Midwest, if I wanted to visit Emma, my girlfriend, I could teleport to her. If I just wanted to go on vacation, I wouldn't have to buy an expensive plane ticket, pack a bag, spend 3-6 hours traveling or whatever there and then back. I could just teleport there, teleport back. So teleportation would be so rad. Number 4, third question from Holly, 4th comment overall. What's your favorite thing about yourself? It's my curly hair. I just have really come to own my curly hair. I used to have a buzz cut in high school. In college, I let it grow out a little bit, but still mostly kept it pretty short. It was only after college that I really started to grow it out. At one point, I had the really long locks, and I've cut it short. And so I think this is a good mix between long enough to style and be curly, but short enough to be tame, so that from outside it's not blowing all in my face and bothering me. Comment number 5, question number 4 from Holly. If you could go back in time, what would you tell your younger self? See, I don't like questions like this because, one, there's no point. I can't. There's no point thinking and talking about it, imagining how my life would be different if I could do that. Second of all, I wouldn't really want my life to be any different. Things are working out. Even when I made mistakes in the past and personally for my own life, wish I could change those. In many ways, there were blessings, good things that came out of those. God works all things for good for those who love him. And so sometimes other people benefited really well from my mistakes. For example, in a bad romantic relationship, but one of my best friends found the woman who is now his wife. So I can't erase that relationship without erasing theirs. But if I had to tell my younger self something, I would jump back to 2020 and tell my younger self, hey, invest your stimulus checks in GameStop. That would just give me a little bit more money right now. And that would be pretty cool. I could, put a little bit down for some better equipment here for YouTube, some better gear for work, for church, or just have savings for a rainy day. Comment number 6. Number 5 from Holly, top 10 loveliest qualities of Emma. Again, Emma being my girlfriend, so I'm going to run through these really quickly with no explanation, just because I think they're pretty self-explanatory. Number 1, she loves Jesus. Number 2, she's super nerdy about costumes and theater and musicals and Disney and that kind of stuff. Number 3, she's very good at finding or making a perfect gift. I can go into more detail on that at another time in various videos. Number 4, she's very silly. You don't understand how silly she is. Number 5, she's perfectly physically affectionate. Like, she likes holding hands and cuddling and booping me or playfully hitting me or bumping into me. That's the only one I think that requires a little bit of explanation. Number 6, she's super easy to talk to about anything and everything, whether it's me being passionate about YouTube or me being passionate about photography, which she cares nothing about, to me talking about work and my spiritual life and my goals for the future. She's super easy. Or just this random conversation I had with a random person at the gas station. I could talk to her about anything and everything. Number 7, 8, and 9, she is an overthinker, she is a planner, and she's an introvert. I'm also all 3 of those things. And so we can struggle in those together. Number 10, she's very close to her family. And that's something I really wanted in a girlfriend and a future wife. Because I'm not super close to my family. There's some ways that I'm just, there's weird personality differences that cause us to butt heads. But even when she does that, she's still very close to her family and values that deeply. Comment number 7, getting away from Holly's stuff, from Mason Reynolds, who is somebody else I also know. He was a former roommate of mine. We lived together for a couple years. He's married and moved on and is having a baby, and it's very exciting. So number 7 from Mason Reynolds, my favorite Panic at the Disco song. Mason, I know you're expecting me to say High Hopes. I think High Hopes is tied with This Is Gospel. I love This Is Gospel. I love Panic at the Disco. And I think if I had to pick a top song, it would either be This Is Gospel or High Hopes. Number 8, from the NHD family. I don't know if I know who you are. If I have met you in real life, thanks for subscribing. If not, awesome. Thanks for subscribing. And so they asked 5 questions. Favorite color, gray, black, and red are pretty high on my list, which ironically I realized this morning are colors that are associated with Jurassic Park. So maybe that's why. If not those, teal. I like teal, even though I don't really like blue. Second question from NHD family. Favorite food, pizza. Love pizza. Where do I work? I work at a nonprofit organization called House of Faith. You've seen me wearing their shirts for several videos because half of my wardrobe is House of Faith shirts. Our goal is to take Jesus to neighborhood children, youth, and families. So I spend my life and my free time and my work life telling people about Jesus, and it's really fun. I really enjoy it. So if you want to know more about that, comment down below. Question 3 from NHD family, PlayStation or Xbox? If I have to choose based on games, PlayStation has the better library, better version, or better console exclusives, but Xbox has a better controller. I like how robust this controller is versus this. I like how, if you're looking for just a powerful system, Xbox wins, pretty much hands down. How tall am I? 6'3". I'm a tall, skinny boy. Where am I from? I'm from Indiana, a really small town of like 3,000 people that nobody even in Indiana or Illinois has heard of. So small town in Indiana, and now I live in Texas. And last question, number 9, from Kyle Kaufman, whom I know from teaching middle school. He says, when's your next book coming out, nerd? First of all, thanks for calling me a nerd. I don't take offense at that. I know you're just being silly. As for my next book, if you don't know, I wrote a book. I wrote a book in 2015 and then revised it and did proofing for 2.5 to 3 years and finally published it in summer of 2018. A link for that will be in the description down below if you want to check it out, read more about it, and potentially buy it. That'd be awesome. But I don't know, Kyle. I don't know when my next book's coming out. Maybe never. At this point, I want to focus on work, on YouTube, on church, and having a personal life. And so writing a book doesn't necessarily fit into my schedule, my life right now. But if YouTube does become a full-time career, then I will write another book. I have a bunch of ideas. I just don't have time that I want to dedicate to that in particular. But that is all my questions. So I'm going to dramatically close my MacBook. Thank you so much for watching and commenting and subscribing and watching and just being part of my YouTube family, my YouTube audience. So if you like what you see, don't forget to subscribe, give me a thumbs up, comment down below more questions. I want to do a regular Q&A just so you can all get to know me. Maybe I'll do some live streams in the future and then we can have a conversation a little bit more so I can get to know you guys. So let me know what you think, comments down below, ideas for videos down below, and look forward to more videos, another video coming up this Friday. But in the meantime, later nerds.